Hello, we are back again. It is SAFC Fan TV and the first edition of the Sunday Bunch of this new year, 2021. And on the show tonight, of course, we have Sean Middleton. Give us a wave. Or don't give us a wave. Thank you. We've got Dino. Dino gives a wave. Good man. We have the Mad Mistake. Hello, the Mad Mistake. Are you feeling better?
Not quite, but I'm all right.
That's all right. We got Jacob Kirkby down south. Give us a wave, Jacob. Good man. And CONRAD, our editor. Give us a wave, CONRAD. Thank you very much. Michael has sat out tonight. Michael is watching, I've been told, so hello to you. Don't forget, when you're watching, you can take part. We have got the live stream and the live chat going. So if you want to take part in the show, stick it on there. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We are trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Oh, God, sorry about that. That ship sailed, hasn't it? But we're pretty close. And don't forget, it doesn't cost a penny. Is that what you say? It's free and it doesn't cost a penny.
Free to do so. It doesn't cost a penny.
So, well, what a way to start the new year. Northampton 0, Sunderland 0, and there's been people kicking off all over the place. And speaking of people kicking off about it all, let's start with Sean Middleton. What did you think about yesterday?
Jesus Christ. The whole thing about it, right? Like, it was, well, they had 65% of percentage, right? Bar percentage, right? This team, Northampton Town, yeah, they come into this game, they conceded 13 goals in 5 games, right? I mean, the last couple of games, they got smashed 4-0 and 4-0, yeah? And, you expect Sunderland to, I was confident, quietly confident. I'm thinking, well, we'll get an early goal, 2 and 3 will come. But, you look at the teams as well, the team's good team selection, 4-3-3, attacking minded. And what do you get? Just the same old shite, just the same old crap, same old Sunderland. And what pissed me off, to be fair, but mostly pisses off, was the Sun supporters on social media accepting it as well, accepting a 0-0 draw against Northampton Town. Now, sorry, but accepting a 0-0 draw against Northampton, it was 6th from bottom, yeah? 6th from bottom, they conceded 13 goals in 5 games. That's not acceptable. I didn't care about people saying, well, the players they've had to self-isolate. So fucking what? So what is the self-isolate? Doesn't mean nothing. Doesn't mean nothing at all. They're professional footballers. They should be getting on that pitch and doing the business. And the whole game, right? The whole game, the goalkeeper didn't have to make a single save. Now that is absolutely gutless, pathetic, and useless. Them players should be ashamed of themselves. Absolutely embarrassing. Max Power again. Max Power, the captain. I keep on saying about Max Power. I think people can see now he's rubbish. I mean, Scowen didn't do much either, to be fair. But I mean, to test the keeper, I mean, one shot, it was 30 yards out by Max Power. That was the whole game. That's one shot against Northampton Town. I mean, that just tells it all. It's not acceptable, not good enough. People on social media can say what they want and say, this, that, and the other. They've had to self-isolate. They've only trained twice. Well, what about Northampton? Have they not had to do the same thing as well? It's just garbage, absolute rubbish, not acceptable, not good enough, crap.
Thank you. So you wasn't happy?
Nah, crap.
Right, what we'll do, we're going to pass it around the lads, and then we'll come back to you, Sean, and give our comments on that and what you're saying. Quickly to the chat, give everybody a mention if we can. Thanks to everybody who's saying welcome back. Appreciate that very much from you all. And David Hanley down here says up by Easter. So what we're going to do, quickly, we'll go to Dino next. What do you think, Dino, yesterday? 0-0.
It was just one of them. I mean, I know we're playing Northampton Town, but we are a bang average team. We really are. We are not that good. And it's been, I mean, you can change the manager all you want. The players who have to go out on the pitch, you can change formations and change this, that, and the other. It's at the end of the day, the players have got to perform, and they're not performing. And I don't think they'll perform under any manager because we need investment. It's as simple as that. We've got nothing in the centre midfield. I mean, Power was rubbish, Scowen was rubbish, and to be fair, I thought Leopard, I was really poor. He lost the ball plenty of times. He was giving the ball away a lot. He was getting caught out in our own half. It wasn't good enough. We're just so like stale. Like there's no tempo to a game. Yeah, we've got the likes of McGeady back in the team, but he didn't really do much. I've heard people making excuses, the pitch. I'm not being funny. I've seen Sunday League footballers play on smaller pitches and worse pitches and pass the ball better than we do. But with Sean saying we shouldn't accept it, yeah, right, we're Sunderland, we're a big club in League One, but you've got to accept it at the end of the day. This is where we are. We are a League One average team. We're not going for the top two. We haven't got the squad for the top two. I don't even think we've got the squad for the playoffs. We need investment in January. Philly, I said from the start of the season that we wouldn't finish in the playoffs. That was my prediction. We wouldn't finish in the playoffs because the team is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. And when Charlie Wyke is your top goal scorer and you've got no one else who can score goals, that's a problem, and that's a big problem. And to be fair to Northampton, they've done well. They kept out. They minimised with a one shot in the full game. That just shows them kept out. But it shows that we didn't create anything either. So to be fair, it was really poor by us, but well done to Northampton. I thought Northampton done exactly what they needed to do to get the point.
Right, okay. Back on the chat, Conrad Lee says...
There's two of us.
Shut up, behave yourself. Up to 9th place by Easter. Shout out to Tommy, Andrew Robbins, Matthew Lead, who's been on the show, you lot, back on the live chat. Thanks for contributing. The Mad Mistake has just been downstairs to get his tea. What are you having for your tea, mate?
Hot dog.
Oh, can you taste it though?
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
So what do you reckon? Mad Mistake then yesterday, Northampton 0, Sunderland 0. What do you think?
Well, I completely agree with Sean and feel Sean's pain. You know, it was a hard watch. It was probably the worst performance of the season so far. But it was like after the Wimbledon game, Lee Johnson went to the players and said, "Right, go home. Don't come back. Don't do any training whatsoever. Enjoy Christmas. Enjoy your New Year." And then he picked the phone up the day before the match and said, "Right, lads, we've got a game tomorrow. Get yourselves back in. We'll see what you like." That's what it felt like. It was completely disorganized. Nobody had a clue what they were doing. They all looked as if they'd had COVID, as if some of them... I mean, I know what it's like to have COVID, and there's no way I could run around a football pitch at this moment in time. And I'm a lot older than them. They're a lot fitter than me. Not all of them have had COVID, and probably the majority of them haven't. But they haven't trained for 2 to 3 weeks, so haven't even got together as a team for that long. When Northampton have been playing football, they haven't had any COVID in their side, I don't think. And they beat Gillingham the other day 3-1. I know it's no excuse, they're a bad side, but let's face it, we're not a good side. We've got a bunch of average players in this team now. And you want to believe there's good players in that side, and you want to, the best players are missing, to be honest. You're thinking, yes, with Sunderland, we must have a good side. We must be able to take Northampton. But when you looked at the hard facts, we haven't got a good side. And I'm at the understanding now that we're just a bang average side in League One. And if we're not going to let these teams are not going to roll over and take it up the arse because we're Sunderland. We've got to go out there and earn the right to win these games of football. And yesterday, we didn't earn diddly squat. It was the worst performance I've seen. I'm not going to be harsh on the players. I'm not, because I know they're bang average. They're an average side, average players, and they've all been under the weather. Or the majority haven't, played for a while, haven't trained for a while. And some of them will have been suffering through COVID. So I'm not going to be harsh this time round. But goddamn, next week I will be. Good
man. Right, quickly to the chat. Gary Talbot says, well said, Dino. He agrees with what you said. Anthony Lee's been on. He's a pal of mine. If you know him properly, then you call him Tony Lee, which he hates. Thanks, Tony. Also, it says, Andrew Ady, Terry putting on a buffet, and Stu Shaw says, Terry loves a sausage. Can on. Do you like a sausage?
Of course he does. Look at that.
Karen loves a sausage.
And he can't taste the thing.
Right. So down to Jacob. Down south, in London, been locked down for longer than we have. But what did you think watching the match yesterday, Jacob?
This club, I'll tell you what, it's making me depressed, honestly. There's just nothing to get excited about watching Sunderland anymore. There really is not, and especially when we're playing in a league when you don't know if the next game you have or two's going to go ahead because of so many COVID cases knocking about amongst the teams playing in this league. It's just, and the performance summed it up basically yesterday. Like Dino said, we're just a bang average team playing in this league now. No quality whatsoever. And Lee Johnson, he's got a very hard task on his hands to try and fix that. But we have to accept that he's going to need a lot of time because it is going to be a strong rebuilding process and a long-term project, a lot working with Christian Speakman as well to get the players he wants to bring in to make it a more successful long-term project. But right now, I think, we can't accept that result and just move on because it was very poor. But I think we have to accept in terms of the quality of the squad we have is just not good enough at the moment until pardon me, this takeover goes through.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Until this takeover goes through, we don't know if we're going to have the funds available to bring in the right people. So worrying times at the moment. There was nothing really much to talk about the game yesterday. We hardly tested their keeper. Same with them. The quality in the game was non-existent. So yeah, so it's just a dull 0-0 draw.
Right, fair enough. John O84 says, has Terry had COVID? He's never mentioned it. Really?
Huh? It's been headline news.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's frustration yesterday. But Conrad, what did you think watching the game?
It was just two poor sides just trying to play for time. Really, it felt like I got a bit of stick yesterday when towards the end of the game, Michael said, "Oh, credit to Northampton, they deserved a point," and I disagreed because I sort of went, deserving of a point implies you did something. You didn't have to do anything to get that point off us because we offered absolutely nothing in that game. The best thing is the only way I could say either team deserved a point is because no one deserved to win. Not one team had any sort of efforts at it or anything like that. We had one long ranger from Power, and they had one dive in front of our keeper. That was both teams' best chances of scoring in the game. It's just another one of those things where it happened just before the game. Sean was saying, like, I don't know what it is, lads. I just feel like today's a good thing. And we even said, like, we felt that before, and it usually just comes before a fall and nothing happens. And it's exactly what happened again. Getting used to teams now, sort of, I want to say holding on for a draw, but they didn't have to. We were the poorer team in this game. We offered absolutely nothing to even threaten them more than once from long range. It was just a bad game from us from start to finish.
Right, okay. Well, I was all excited because I was delivering parcels in the morning because I'm a grafter, in case you didn't know. And I actually got back in time for kickoff, so I could actually sit down and watch the whole game. And it was a hard watch. It was. However, this thing I know, Sean, you're really angry about. We should be beating these teams and what have you. But there was comments made that we need to strengthen in January and all this, right? Which suggests the team's not good enough. So for you to turn around and say we should beat these teams.
Look, Sean, take over.
Phillie, are you there?
Phillie's back for 2 seconds. He's already gone.
And that's it.
Impersonate his face.
And that is all the wee Phillie you're going to have this year on SAFC Fan TV. He'll drop out in a minute, like I would have thought. Where do you think he was going, lads?
I have no idea.
I think he was trying to get me to bite. I think that's where he was.
Actually, he was talking about players in January. So maybe, Sean, what about that then? Players and things we might need in January, or where do we need to improve?
Well, I was just looking at my friend sent us a couple of deer. We're linked with a guy called John Mellish from Carlisle. That's one of them. And there was another one. He might have heard. What was the other one again? Oh, Carl Winchester as well.
Is that the geezer from Forest Green?
Aye. That's the two players. That's the two players we've been linked with.
Hey!
Come on.
Did I disappear then?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we paid the bill on the internet. That's all. Right. Well, whatever I was
Checking it's
saying.
still on.
What were you saying, Philly? What were you saying? Because we didn't hear anything.
Whatever I was saying, it made loads of sense. I don't know. What did you hear? I was basically saying that Sunderland are not Premier League anymore, and so you should not just. We're League One and we're not very good. So why then should you be able to say we should go to Northampton and beat them? Because at the end of the day, the green lights mean it's on. No, the blue light means it's on. Sorry, we're
got a pasty for you again.
Yeah, something like that. So the thing is we're League One. So and anybody can beat anybody. That's which is why you can never win on the coupons. So why do you think just because we're Sunderland, we should be able to go to Northampton and win? Because
Philly, why do you think we should be up by Easter?
Because at the start,
that's expectations. That's expectations.
At the start of the season.
What's the point? What's the point in starting a season and saying, all right, we'll just set it from mid-table. We'll just set it from mid-table. What sign of look, Philly, we're the biggest side outside the Premier League, and our people say, well, we are now, but I would just go push the expectation thing and say, all right, no bother. We'll just settle for the mid-table 13, League One, no bother. Aye, thanks, mate, no problem. So we'll just have that attitude, aye.
Right, it's another.
East Dean was going to see something. All right.
Well, hang on. What's the difference between a big side? Are we a big side? Are we the biggest side out of the Premiership? Because we've got a big stadium and a lot of fans.
I think we're the biggest side outside the Premier League by a mile.
Right, Dino. What do you want to say on it?
The big team thing means jack shit. It means nothing. You can be a big team all you want to be. I think Philly's left again.
Just keep going. You know where you're at.
I'll keep going. You can be a big team all you want to be, but at the end of the day, it means jack shit. I mean, look at Arsenal in the Prem at the minute. They're supposed to be a big team, but they're looking like a mid-table team at the minute. It means nothing. It's good enough saying, oh, we're a big team, but you need to make the investment. You need to have the players there, and we do not have that. We haven't had that for probably 2 years now. I feel like we had them the first season to go up. Second season, we lost Madja and we lost a few of our players. McGeady got frozen out and all that stuff. So it's like, I mean, bye Philly.
Yeah.
You can say big team and settle like that. Should we settle for mid-table? But let's be fair, Sean. There's a lot of teams who are happy to settle in mid-table. Like, so you're saying, well, we should just give up the season for mid-table. But there's a lot of teams who do that. Don't forget, in the Prem, we just wanted to stay above the relegation zone. That's all we wanted, to stay out the relegation zone. Yeah, we want to go up, but it's not going to happen until look at Philly. It's not going to happen until we actually make some signings.
My point is like if you just tap the expectations things away, what do we expect? And then if we take it out, oh, we should get promoted. What do we settle for them? Just mid-table mediocrity. Well, do you know what I mean? Is that how bad it's come? I mean, look at our history. 144 years, our history, yeah, and we've been in this division. We had one stint in it with Dennis Smith, 86, 87. We got promoted straight away. But since Dirty Donald's come in, the owner of the century, he's come in and he's kept us in this division for 3 seasons. Do you know what I mean? Could be 4.
Right. Quickly then, can I ask why do you dismiss this thing of we've not played for a few games with the COVID thing? You're saying that's no excuse. Why is that no excuse?
Well, Philly, the Wimbledon game, we drew 1-1. What was the excuses for that game? What did you say? Because you got loads of changes just before the kick-off. Because there's loads of people the players were self-isolated. They could have cancelled that game, but still, you put a team out who should have won that game. And that's the excuse to the Wimbledon game, the 1-1. There's just excuses all the time, and it's another excuse. The Northampton game. You're not testing the keeper in 90 minutes for a team which conceded 13 goals. They conceded an average of 2.5 goals per game. You've got to test the keeper. We didn't
Listen,
even test the keeper. It's not good enough.
All you've got to do is ask Terry about COVID. Now, Terry's a fit bloke, probably the fittest out of all of us, runs and all that, right? All right, he's probably the oldest, but you ask Terry, who's had COVID, right, about playing a game of football, and now you can't use that as an excuse, Terry.
I tell you what, right? I go training every day. I do roughly about 300 or 400 sit-ups a day. Maybe it's 100 press-ups every other day. And I tried to do 30 sit-ups yesterday and 10 press-ups, and I was fucked.
But Terry, you know about I know you've had COVID, right? And there's some players which had it, but then you self-isolate, and then you obviously come back and you recover from it. It might not be a case of the players might have had a drink on New Year's Eve. And you know,
we did. Hey,
I'm saying the players might have had a drink, and they were just recovering from that.
I just feel yesterday the players that were on the pitch weren't good enough to get the result, didn't have the intelligence to get the result, and I think that the whole of the club, for me, there's only one person there who wants to succeed, and that has to be the new manager coming in, because I don't think the board wants to succeed. I don't think the players are interested in succeeding. So for me, it's down to the manager, Lee Johnson. He's coming to that club. He's a young professional who wants to be at the top of his game, wants to improve throughout his career. For me, he's the only person I can see that wants to succeed. Some of the players are stuck in a rut. Some of the players just want to get the money and don't give a shit about the fans, about the city and about the club. Not all of them mind, but I think some of them do not give a shit one single bit. So for me, I think Lee Johnson is the right man to go forward, and he will bring his own team in, bring his own players in, and we'll find the weak from, we'll get the better players who want to actually succeed at the club.
Right, before we go to you, Sean, Dino's trying to get in. Dino?
I know, like, Sean's kicking off and all this stuff, but Sean, whose fault is it? Because of yesterday? Is it the manager or the players then? Because, like, you're saying we're not creating chances. Is that the manager's fault or the players' fault?
I would say the players yesterday. I would say the players.
Yeah. But that's the problem. The players are the ones who go out in the team, so we can't blame the board a bit for the investment. You can't blame the manager because he's changed the system, he's changed players, he's brought Diamond in, he's brought McGeady back. But them players on the pitch, they're just not good enough. Our centre midfield is the worst centre midfield I've seen for a long time. They don't do anything. It's all sideways, backwards, negative. I never see a centre midfielder bursting into the box or taking a player on. Power had a shot, fair enough, but when does he often do that? I mean, our centre midfield is the worst centre midfield I've seen for a long, long time. They just don't do anything. And when you take that out, like you say, we can only go down the wings. And then when that's not working, what we got? Absolutely nothing.
John?
For me, there was no desire from, like, a team to want to win the game. Like, as commented earlier on, and we had this point on the live stream, like, Northampton, congratulations on getting the point, but they didn't really have to do anything to get the point. They didn't. I think, I don't know. I said earlier on that they restricted us. They didn't restrict us. We just restricted ourselves. We didn't create nothing. We didn't have any shots. There was no emphasis on us getting the goal. I mean, we were trying to stupid crosses in every time, and the crosses weren't clearing the first man. I said to CONRAD and Mike on the show, where you're not going to score from a cross. The only way you're going to score is from a ball through the middle, like the ball through the middle, and we just weren't playing that ball. I was just seeing players who just weren't giving a shit, and that's the problem. You need a manager to come in and sort them players out. Nigel Pearson would have been ideal for them type of players. He would kick them into touch.
Oh, everybody's wanting now. Jacob, then we'll go to CONRAD, then Mad Mistake. Jacob?
Yeah, building on what Sean was saying, I completely understand various points about players showing desire to win that game. Yes, there were moments like late on in the second half where they were like jogging to keep balls in play and running across to take a throw or take a corner or any set piece. I'm like, come on, surely, where just have that a little bit more. Even if you've not got, as Sunderland fans, you don't have to be the most quality player in the world for us to show appreciation back to you. Just
100%.
Heart, desire, and passion. Just give that little bit extra, and then the fans will love you straight away.
CONRAD?
Yeah, it's off of what Dino said there about the midfield. I was just thinking back to the Lincoln game. All 4 of our goals came from someone on the wing each time, whether it be Diamond cutting inside for the penalty or getting the ball across for the other one. The third one, Diamond again, cutting inside, scoring. The fourth one out to Maguire on the right. Everything we do even when we're getting the defenders in, McLaughlin's cutting down that side, or McFadzean or Hume down that side, nothing comes through the middle of our team. So like you were saying, when we've got Scowen, Power and Ledbetter, surely even if you took one of them out of that and said to the other two, do what you're doing, that's fine. I can see you doing a job, but your other job of helping what's in front of you is non-existent at the moment. We have no one who would drive on. Like I said, only one player might change that whole team, maybe two in the middle, but like we have the ability to go around the outside and in, but it wasn't there yesterday because McLaughlin wasn't doing it. We were saying on the stream, he wasn't getting down the right side either. The Sanderson at left back wasn't getting down that side. So we lost. We had nothing to push forward and link us all together yesterday.
Tommy on the chat says, can't keep blaming the managers. Chris Scott says, Honeyman got slagged off for being just a grafter. Mad mistake. Then we'll go to Sean, then back down to Dino.
Okay.
Sorry, back down to Jacob.
Some of our better players weren't even in the side. I mean, 09's still injured, and you got your left side was completely wiped out. I mean, Denver Hume's still injured, and the other bloke who's came in, he's not even in the squad either. So a lot of the players weren't even ready yesterday. And I can't really blame McGeady. McGeady tried his best, but his touch wasn't there. For me, that's just lacking fitness. That's just lacking fitness. Possibly maybe his COVID taking effect because he seemed to be a bit disorientated with his. He was hitting the ball too long. He was taking one too many touches. He was over touching it. Diamond tried. He huffed and puffed, but the double teamed them every single time. Sanderson was one of the better players. He did okay. The defense wasn't really sort of that bad, to be fair. Just the midfield three. I don't think that Lee Johnson's going to actually ever drop Scowen, which is the only negative thing I can think about to do with the manager is, for me, Scone and Ledbetter and Power isn't the combination we need in the centre of midfielders. And I do think that he's going to have to bring somebody in with a bit of... we need a big brick shithouse in the centre of midfield who can play the ball around. Someone with a bit of strength who can dominate the centre of midfield. Scowen isn't the man. Power isn't the man. I can kind of forgive Ledbetter again. He's in his 30s. If he's missed a bit of training, he will suffer. So for me yesterday, I'm not going to blame a lot of the players, but I think some of our better players weren't even in the starting lineup.
Right, Jacob?
I think building on what Terry was saying about our midfield, I think over the years, the club has adopted this philosophy in terms of like bringing in certain type of people for that position, where we look at too many players that can like graft a lot during the game, but grafting's all plain and sailing, but have you got enough quality? Football has changed now. You need someone who can change the game like a flip of a coin going into like the latter stages of a game. And we've adopted that philosophy, buying players for years, and it needs to change now. We need to look at more quality rather than just what experience they can offer.
Sean, you was one then.
I was just, I mean, obviously you and Terry and Dino, you on about like the coronavirus, this, that, and the other, and the players not being fit yet. So, in 2 weeks' time, because I'm going to game next Saturday, the Fleetwood game's obviously off, and we've got Port Vale in the Football League Trophy in midweek the week after. But that Wimbledon game away, what excuses we're going to use that game? Or is this still the same when we're drawing 0-0 or we draw 1-1? What's going to be the excuses going into that game after that game? He's going to say, well, it's the coronavirus still. They're not match fit. It's not shy. It's just excuses.
Who says you're going to need an excuse in that game? You know, we could batter them 5-0, and then what you're going to say? You're going to say, oh, well, I wanted you to get beat. Then I could have said, because you were going to say, use the coronavirus as an excuse. You can't say what excuse are you going to use when we don't know what's going to happen.
All the other clubs is going to deal with it, Philly. All the other clubs have got to deal with this coronavirus thing, and it's only Sunderland that has to whinge about it.
Well, I don't understand. I don't understand why Sunderland can't have enough day. Who's to say we didn't just have enough day yesterday? Dino, you want in?
Yeah, two things. I thought yesterday, McGeady, I thought he looked like an old man yesterday. I do. I thought, like you say, you can put it down to he's not played many games and all that stuff.
Dino, this is an old man.
No, but old man in football. His touch was all over the place. His final delivery was poor. His shooting was terrible. he just doesn't look the same player. I thought Diamond was terrible. Like, if our main threats the wingers, they need to be on point, and both of them were not. And when McGeady Wall saying he's the best player in the league, he's not. Let's be fair, he's not. He's not anymore. He's just another bang average player. But on Sean's point, Sean, I think you might need to realise this season is not like any other season. This season is being a up and down. It's been shit.
I agree what you're saying, Dana. There, it's just every other team's got to adapt to that. I agree what you're saying.
Not everyone, because some teams haven't had the games called off. We've had, like you say, 2 weeks off when other teams haven't, and we've been affected with loads of coronavirus. Other teams might not have. So you've got to think, like, even because we were on a 2 or 3 unbeaten run, and then all of a sudden we've been getting beat because obviously it come after the coronavirus and all this stuff. So you've got to look at it as it's not like any other season. We might be in form, and then we might have to take 2 weeks off because coronavirus, and then come back and play a team who's been playing. It's not like any other season. There's going to be results like this all the time. But guess what? We kept a clean sheet. Yay!
Right. Well,
defensively better.
Let's quickly try and move on to something else. First of all, I want to check with Conrad. Conrad, are you all right? Because you don't look very happy down there in that corner. I don't know.
Mate, I had to sit through that whole game yesterday. No, I'm not all right.
Fair point. Couple of things. I'll lighten it with the next one, and then we'll move back on the football. I want to say thank you as well. While I was off, I managed to win this because SAFC Fan TV did, and under a false name, I managed to win. No. Well done to Neil Thompson. I've finally got that. We'll send that out to you this week, and you'll get it down in. I think you're down in Somerset, miles away. So we was going to deliver it by hand, but that's the question. Right, what I want to put to you all is, right, I don't know, do you all have, do you bet on the football? I know Terry does, I do. Do you have a little gamble on the football? We all do, all right. What I want to ask then, all right, you've got a bet on, and there's 15 minutes to go, and you stand to win a fair amount of money off your little £1 bet. Would you cash in, or do you hold your nerve till the end? Just a quick cash in or not cash in, Sean?
And which team you relying on? Which team you relying on?
Depends on the value of the cash in.
All right, I'll tell you what. Right. You've got a £1 bet on. Yeah. Right. This was my bet yesterday, right? I had a £1 bet on. It started as a tenfold, but then it was reduced down to a sevenfold because of a postponement. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It was only £1 on it. Right. You stand to win. It's a sevenfold. You stand to win 268 quid. Right. There's 15 minutes to go. All 7 teams are winning. All right. Though 5 of the teams are only winning by 1 goal.
Yeah.
Right. You can stick it out for £268, or you can cash in for 58 quid. Do you cash in, or do you hold your nerve, Sean?
Right, I'll hold my nerve because it's only £1, so I'll just let it roll. I'll let it roll and try and get the max 260.
Right, okay. Dino? Oh, go on, Sean.
I've got a feeling this is it's something to do with you and Karen, isn't it?
No, it's nothing to do with that.
Right.
Dino.
Cash out for the simple fact you've made £56 profit, and you've got a guarantee one of them 5 teams is going to concede.
Right, Terry, what do you do? Do you cash in, or do you hold your nerve?
Well, I've won. Today I had a coupon on for 65 quid, and I cashed in for 50 quid, and they all won. So.
Yeah, but that's only a tenner, so that's. That's
Did you cash out in injury time if it was only a tenner away from the thing?
I know, it was just one of those things that was close towards the end. I thought I'm not gonna risk losing 50 quid when I can just walk away 50 quid. I started off the day with just a £5, so it's a profit. For a quid, I'd take 50 odd quid.
A wise man's words. Jacob, would you cash in, or would you go for the 268?
You only live once, mate. Hold your nerve. Go for the 268.
Right. And Conrad, what would you do?
cash out, then I've got 58 weeks of betting £1 each time.
Yes, yes, is that right? All right. Well, what happened was there was 15 minutes to go. All 7 were winning. 5 of them only by 1 goal. 15 minutes later, the game's ended. All 7 teams won £268, and I cashed in for 58.
Oh, yeah. Donut.
You're still £58 up. Still £58 up.
Yeah.
That's true.
No, the thing is, though, I mean, there was 5 teams with, you know, a one goal advantage at the time, and I thought there was too many. At the time, I was happy with me 58 quid because I was certain somebody was going to knock it up for us. But then after that, I was having a go at Karen saying, it was your fault. I'm 200 quid down. Terry?
Okay, for £1, right, you may as well put 2 coupons on, 2 £1 coupons on, same 7 teams, let one run, cash out the other.
Idea, right? That's another.
That's a good idea. Hey, what a good idea.
I know what I tend to try and do if I'm jogging past the bookies on a Saturday, I'll pop in the bookies, I'll put a couple of quid on the coupon at the bookies, and I'll do it on my phone as well, just in case. And I can't cash out one, but I can cash out the other.
What happens if they both lose?
Yeah. Well, that's what happens with me. I'm not normally in that position to be cashing in, but never mind.
I only lose £2 when I go for a run anyway, but I may as well
Yeah.
Right. Go on, Sean, do you want to be in?
I can see just about yesterday about obviously the shit show that was the 0-0 draw yesterday. What pissed me off more as well, sorry for swearing, just a bit angry, but obviously Mark Donnelly, the Sunday reporter, he showed a picture of Stuart Donald in the crowd. I think that got us riled up anyway. And I'm thinking he was supposed to be. He put a statement out saying he was leaving the club before. He was going to take the back seat, and he's there in the stadium. And now people say, "Well, he's still going to support us." But I'm thinking, well, if this Kirill Louis Dreyfus, whatever they call KLD, if he's been the majority shareholder, yeah, and he's going to call the shots, why is Donald still going to the games and stuff and this, that, and the other?
Because he's technically still the owner, isn't he? The deal hasn't gone through yet, so he's still technically the owner. So technically, he can still go.
He still has money in us as well. Even if that had gone through, he's still a part shareholder, isn't he?
Well,
I know why he was there. Because there was a free buffet.
Right. Listen. Right. What I'll do then, we'll come on to. I wasn't going to do this next, but seeing as you mentioned, of course, why I've been off. Grafting and of course a couple of family issues we've had, but we're back now. There was a few points which happened, and I was thinking, God, I wish I'd been on there. I wanted to have a quick say on it. So when you mentioned about Kirill Louis Dreyfus, which is not easy to say when you've been drinking wine.
I know all about that, mate. I
want to quickly mention that, but another couple of things was. With obviously Sean did the interview with William Story, and then when this takeover thing came out, there was a comment made by Stuart Donald saying that it was public knowledge that he turned down bigger and better offers, however, felt he wanted what was right for the club, and that statement alone, for me, I'd like to think gave us as a channel, SAFC Fan TV. A little bit of credibility in the fact that a few months ago when I got a bit of information in saying that there'd been a £35 million bid put on the table and it got refused, and people were saying no chance because Donald would have taken it. So it's a load of pie in the sky. So maybe that was quite credible, that what we brought to you. And the same as where William Story was saying to Sean, there was a £45 million bid went on the table and everybody was dissing him and saying, what a load of rubbish. Stuart Donald is as good as said that, it was public knowledge that there was bigger offers being refused. And so, maybe there was something in that information, what came out. The only thing I want to say about Louis Dreyfus is I do genuinely believe, like it or not, that even though he'll be the major shareholder in Sunderland, I still think Stuart Donald will run the show. I think he's just going to be. I think He's just going to be. Stuart Donald said all along the ideal setup for him would be for them to run the show with someone else's money. And the only reason he wanted Louis Dreyfus in is that he can still be in there. And I think that Louis Dreyfus will just go, there you go, I can sit back, run it. And he's pally with Stuart Donald, and Stuart Donald can run it. Now, whether you like it or not, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. That's how I see it. And it won't be popular, but I think Stuart Donald will still run the show.
Sean,
I don't talk about takeovers.
I can't ask anymore, man.
that kind of be. I mean, what I heard was that he was wanting to put more money in, have more say. I mean, if it's a takeover, it's going to be 51% or more of the shares, which would be classed as a takeover. I was looking this earlier on. I mean, if KLD, if he has 60%, Sartori has 20, Donald has 14, and Methven has 6. I kind of see how somebody would put the money in, but then not be calling the shots. I can't. It doesn't seem possible to me. Like,
listen, Stuart Donald won't have the power, but I think it will be Louis Dreyfus's choice to allow him to do it. Terry, you was wanting in on it.
Nobody's that stupid, Phil. No one's that stupid. Okay, even a young lad who's 22 want to come in, put his own stamp on, and do his own thing. I don't think there's anybody in the world who's going to be that stupid to buy a club and let some absolute muppet who's ruined the club in the first place continue to run the club. There's no one that daft. There's no one that daft.
The thing is, right? If Louis Dreyfus wasn't worth what he was worth, then you could see it. But what's a few million quid to him when he's got a couple of billion? It's absolutely nothing. So, if he knows Stuart Donald and Stuart Donald's convinced him to do that, is he that bothered about the club?
I even think his mother will be pulling the strings, not Louis Dreyfus, and I think his mother would not let that happen in the slightest.
Isn't he Satori's mate?
Satori's will be his brother-in-law or something like that. I don't know.
Philly, the reason why Donald didn't do a full sale and he had offers, he said he would take 37.5 million, and there was a couple of offers on the table. Yeah, the reason why he's done that is he sold his whatever percentage of shares, and then once we get back to the Championship or the Premier League, even he'll cash in again. It's about money. It's all about money. And then obviously, I don't know how much he's getting now. Maybe he's 25, 30. We don't know for sure. It'll come out, sooner or later. But that's why he hasn't done a full sale, because he knows that say if he sells the club for 45 million, he's not going to make much money. Where if he sells his share, half his shares or whatever, or majority shares, keeps hold of 15%, 20%. Then once we get back to the Premier League, he gets his big clear deal. Bye-bye.
Listen, I'm not saying it's the outcome I would like, right? I'm just saying that there's a possibility. I mean, why wouldn't Donald just sell up and be rid? I know you're saying to get a bigger chunk when we're worth more money. But why didn't he just take? He could have had money. Who's to say we're going to get up there and be worth more? When you got money on the table, you got an offer. There was an offer from William's story, apparently. All right, bigger offer. It's money in the bank. Take the money. It's like cashing in now rather than staying the length of time and hope.
He hasn't got the money to take us forward. So if he sells some of his shares, that KLD and his mother, as Terry says, she's got a canny few billion, so she can come in on board. They'll in the short term, they'll get us back to the Championship. And then if he gets a sizable offer, it's to buy his shares. I think he'll wait till we get the Premier League. Then he'll get his money. What he dreamed about when he first took over the club. That's what he dreamed about, was making 80 to 100 million in salmon pans. That's what it was all about. It's all about making money, cutting the costs. Bye, see you later. Fuck you, Sunderland fan.
Sean, are you angry?
Terry,
then we'll go to Dino.
Also, Stuart Donald could just be a narcissist. Simple as.
Is that it? Dino.
Narcissistic. He's just one of those people, isn't he? Thinks
he's never
above everybody else.
He was never going to sell. When he says 37.5 million, I listened to the video thing with Nick Barnes. He says, somebody give me 37.5 million, passes the AFL checks, and have the club. Now, William Storey and there's other couple of consortiums as well have bid more than 37.5 million. He's turned them down. Why is that? Because he wants to make more money. That's also, he sells his shares, We could take a few years until we get back to Premier League, but he will get his big payday. He will, and obviously it's a bit of pill for a lot of Sunderland fans to take because he's put nothing in, and he's lied, and he's cheated, and he stole. He's done everything.
But Sean, has Stuart Donald really done that bad a job though?
Has he done that bad a job?
Here we go. Here we go.
Dino, have your say, mate.
Wait, sorry. Go on.
Go on, Conrad. Go.
I was just going to say, yesterday, me and Sean both actually agreed that he'd done one thing good while he was here.
The seats.
No. All right, two things good.
Second Jack Ross.
No, it was well, I don't even know if he did this, but it was his idea on trying to protect us on the youngsters' contracts about stopping agents from like just taking them away when they had a year left. And we were like, he was trying to make sure they would work in our favour. That was the only thing we agreed on yesterday.
But he did see the piss taking party where him and Meffman said that was going to stop. When them took over, that's when it started. That's when the piss taking party started. When them took over, they were instead of like the players and this that and the other pinching the money, they started pinching the money, and that's all he's done. It's just been a combination of pinching money.
Right,
you know
let Dino in. Dino, you was one in there, mate.
Obviously, Donald's a businessman. He sees the potential. He sees the potential of something going back to the Premier League, where that's where all the money is in the Prem. So he gets this bloke to buy shares, who's worth a couple of billion. So he's kind of had a payday already, but just a little one, just to get his money back, what he might have lost, or because we don't know all the figures, but he might have lost some money, but he's gained it back and whatever, and all this bullshit, right? So then he gets to the Prem, and then he can sell his whole shares to this bloke if he wants to buy them, or he can sell them to somebody else and make more money. Let's forget, we always said Donald was never going to sell to somebody because they would want him out the club. Donald always wanted to be in the club because he knows the money is just unreal if we get to where we need to be. Yeah, it might take a couple of years, but in a couple of he can just sit on his arse now and just watch Louis Defray, Richie Rich as I call him, do his thing, get with there eventually. Might take 5 years, might take 10 years. You just never know, because look at Leeds, them have been out, Portsmouth have been out for years. This is a project. This is a massive, massive project. And at the end of the day, if Donald's going to be there and not do anything, I mean, there's no point moaning about it. He's here. Like I know Sean goes to bed at night punching his pillow thinking it's Donald and that because he absolutely hates him. But I don't give the bloke a second thought. I really don't care about the bloke, to be fair. I know I've got a picture of him, but I don't really care much for him.
Right.
It is what it is. You just got to get on with it.
Right. It's great because when I've watched it when I've been off, there is a picture of you with him, which I've thought I'll get up there. I've got a video when we had him on stage in Blackpool, and where everybody's singing the Stuart Donald song and all that. And I'm saying, and I'm going, and you know why that is? Because we love you. We love you. That's why. And we'll have to cut that out and get that on here just to show you. At the end of the day, for me, the guy, his heart was in the right place first season. He just didn't have enough money. Had we gone up that first season, would have been a different ball game. Quickly on the chat, Tony Lee says, has Sean got a balding crown under that cap? Joanne Punchin, massive fan of Sean, says no, he has a full head of hair, but I can tell everybody actually he's totally bald and the hair is actually stitched to the cap. That's how that works. Right then, what I quickly want to do then, because we haven't got a lot of time left, is there was a comment made, and Michael Bowers made it yesterday on the review of the game, and I wrote it down because I wanted to mention it, and it is a little bit unfair with Michael not being on to have his say on it, but I know some of you maybe feel the same. Michael said that we won't even make the playoffs, right? And a few of you, I don't know, have been thinking that way. Now, for me, I think that's, you know me, I'm always positive. I'm still for top two myself.
You're still up by Easter, you?
But no, I'm not up by Easter anymore. No, start of the season, I was.
What are you doing?
He's giving birth.
Sorry, I'm shaking my legs. I've got me nervous legs. I've got me pad here, so I'm reading. So people saying that we won't even make the playoffs when I think we're only 3 points outside the playoffs, aren't we?
They've all got to play each other still. There's like 11 teams between us.
It's
So.
ridiculous. It's
There's
ridiculous.
still 80 odd points. It's still 80 odd points up for grabs.
It's a ridiculous statement to make.
It's
So
not.
I'd like your views. I'd like your views on it. So we'll go straight to you then, Dino. Dino,
Right.
do you not think that we're going to make the playoffs?
No, this squad isn't good enough. We can't even beat the we can't even beat the teams we're favourite against. We played well against Charlton. We've beat Ipswich and all that stuff. But come this time when it comes back round, then we'll hammer us because we haven't got a style of play. We don't have an identity. We've got a good defence, but a shit strike force. I mean, it's so easy to figure out. And I said from the start of the season, we weren't going to go up because the team is bang average. If Charlie White gets injured, who's going to score the goals? I mean, McGeady, obviously, you've still got to get up to speed. Jack Diamond, we still don't know much about him. I mean, this team is just so bang average, man, Philly. And if we do go up, we'll just end up like Wickham and come straight back down again. We'll get thrashed every week. We need to build this team. It's got to take a couple of more seasons, I guarantee you. We missed what opportunity the first season, and now we're just going to be sitting in League One until we actually can get some half-decent players in a squad together.
Right, so we're 3 points off sixth place with a game in hand, and we still can't finish in the top six. Jacob, what do you think?
Listen, it's a long way to go this season. Long way to go. I don't think we can judge the table properly until a lot of the teams have played the same amount of games as each other. But to be honest, how long is that going to take? Like when you look at the situation now, games being called off left, right, and centre. Like the finish date that the season's currently got in place, it's going to have to get an extension. How are they going to fit like the amount of games that needs to be played in that time span? I really don't know how they're going to do it.
Points per game, Jacob. Points per game.
Oh,
We'll do that again.
To be honest, Dino, I wouldn't rule it out. I'll tell you that now. They've done it before. The EFL, knowing what they're like, they won't be afraid to do it again. Knowing how they operate.
Points on the board, if that's the case, you can get them on fast.
But the thing is, it's so unfair anyway. I mean, all these games we've had postponed and we got games in hand. They don't take that into consideration with it, I believe. Conrad, what do you think? Top six?
Yeah, top six. It will be playoffs. I don't think we'll catch the top two. I know they're still within touching distance and everyone's got to play each other. Because I think it was after the Wimbledon game, Sean was in this, at the time we were like, we can't do this. And me and Dino sort of talked him down a bit saying, all the other teams still have to play each other. We have to play them as well. There's still like 30 plus games to go at this point on here. So we obviously can still do it. I completely agree with Dino though, that I still think we need basically a new midfield or two at least to give us some sort of strength in that middle because we just have nothing at all.
And
like,
a striker.
And then, but White scored a few and like you said, if McGeady gets up to sort of par and if Diamond can sort of give us that little bit of the an edge as well, then the midfield might be able to contribute as well if they come forward. It's because we're relying on one bang average striker who's got a few this season. That's all we've been relying on so far. I think we can easily make the playoffs. I did the numbers there. There's 84 points still to play for. And like you say, we're 3 points off 6 with a game in hand. Yeah, we can easily make them. Whether we will relies on who we get in January.
But the thing is for me is I hear the playoffs and like I say, I've been to Wembley. I
back Johnson in a 3-game competition though. He's done them. I back him in them.
Well, the thing is, the difference is now is it's just typical Sunderland that the one time we could get to Wembley in a playoff final and no fans actually be allowed in is when Sunderland would actually win it. You know, that would sum up me because I've been Wembley 7-8 times now, whatever, never seen them win. And the one time they do win, I still can't get in. That would sum Sunderland up for me. Terry?
When we reach the playoff finals, I know a back way in underground, we'll sneak in through the tunnels and we'll watch it at the top of the stand, okay?
Oh. You know a back way in?
Great escape.
In the back doors.
In the back doors, Philly. In the back
Philly,
door.
I've got to say, Philly, me and Jacob have been working on our connections with Papa John. So if we get to the final, we might be able to go in for us because we're best mates with him now.
Oh, no.
Sean, top 6, what do you think?
Well, obviously, I've had this discussion with CONRAD and Michael quite a lot in there. I mean, I agree with Dino. It's like the way we're playing at the minute, and the squad. I mean, you look at the midfield. I think the defense is not bad, to be fair. We keep clean sheets. We can look solid. It's just our midfield and our strike force. I mean, look at me. I says Danny Graham and Will Grigg will get us the goals to get us promoted. How fucking stupid do I look now? I mean, we're gonna need some reinforcements. We're gonna need a couple of midfielders who can make a difference. And we're definitely gonna need a striker. I think this January window, fingers crossed, Lee Johnson's got, if he can use the loan market or if he's got a little bit of funds, the salary cap, we need to bring in 3 or 4 players that will make a difference. Because for me, personally speaking, that squad at the minute struggle getting in the playoffs. I agree with Dana. But if we can get the right players in, I mean, Liam Walsh was linked, and that was just a rumour. I'm not on Facebook, but somebody said it was a rumour on Facebook. He's a quality player, Liam Walsh. He was in the team of the year last year. Great on the ball, great passer. He would absolutely improve our midfield. Langelier is free at the minute, free agent. Who banged the goals for Blackburn. No, he's the Turkish side. We've released him, so he's available for free again. He's a free agent. So there's 2 players there. I mean, if we can just get rid of a couple of the young guys. I mean, there's rumours about Dan Neil going. What was he called? Embleton. I don't know if it's true. Them going out on loan. I don't know if that's the free up a couple of players coming in. But if we are serious about going up, we shouldn't be getting players like John Mellish and Carl Winchester. Sorry, that's not a sign of a side who's going to finish in the top 6 and definitely not the top 2. Them are players in the league below us. You need to be trying to get players who's in the championship who's not getting games, getting them on loan. But for me, top 6, of course we can do it, but we need to massively improve. And I'm not confident. I mean, top 2, I dare say top 2's gone out the window. But the playoffs, it's a possibility, but I'm not confident at the moment.
Well, you say how daft you look with the Will Grigg thing. I put my bet on with William Mill that Will Grigg would be the league's top scorer. So you may be
down for the season, isn't it?
Well,
I heard today.
Down for a bit of next season.
To be honest, I've got a cash-in value of about 8 pence, and I'm thinking it's probably a good bet to do that. Terry, top 6.
Is Will Grigg out for the season? Is he?
Yeah. 9
Rumours
months.
of it, yeah.
3 to 9 months. What's the injury again?
What he's done, he's been a money-grabbing bastard for 1.5 years and just robbed us blind. No, sorry, he's hurt his knee.
Do we never put his contract up?
Well, that's what fans are saying on social media. Will that happen?
I said do that with Danny Graham.
Yeah.
He came on yesterday.
No.
Get rid of Matthews, Graham and Dobson for starters. There's 4 people we get rid of straight away. Next week, as soon as we're allowed to get players in, Johnson Rex is magic. Get 1 or 2 more players in, we'll get in the playoffs, but we got no chance in the top 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, more or less it.
Has Jacob had his say?
About what?
Yeah, Jacob had his say about the top 6.
Oh, so I completely forgot.
He said he hates Dino's opinion, and yeah.
Shut up, you. No, to be honest, what Dino said at the start of the show, will we even make playoffs right now? It's debatable, but going through the playoffs, it's painful. Philly's been through it over the years. He knows more than me, but I've already had my first experience of it in the 2018-19 season. 1 was enough for me, and I really don't want to go through it again. But it's reality now. Being a Sunderland fan, most likely we'll get to the final this season. No one will be allowed there. And we'll probably win without any Sunderland fans allowed in.
I'd take it. I'd take it.
I'd take it 100%. But I'm intrigued to know what Philly has planned. If that's going to be the setup, if we're not allowed at Wembley Stadium, what are we going to do? We'll climb
the archway and film from up there.
What will we do as a channel?
That means Philly won't be allowed to go Wembley ever again because
still live streaming.
And the time he doesn't go, we'll win. So that means Philly's not allowed to go Wembley anytime we go.
What we'll probably do, we'll see if we can get media passes or something like that, and get us all in. But yeah, I do remember way back then, Jacob. Me and Tony Lee off the chat used to be running about the streets of football games in the bad old days of the 80s and stuff like that. But yeah, I've got a fan, Jacob, Clayton Everett, he loves you, and he loves your jumper, and he would like to.
Yeah, he's a top
He would
geezer.
like to be inside it with you.
Right.
Right.
Stop it, Clayton.
Listen, that just about wraps it up. We have got our next game is Sunderland at Port Vale. I'm not going to do predictions because I was going to do the predictions on the Northampton game. Of course, it was only me got it right. I had a 0-0 draw down. You lot were all way off anyway. So I'm sick again. I'm right. So we'll forget that.
Yeah.
Port Vale, the 12th of January at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday night. We'll do some sort of live stream on that. We'll work that out. And then back to the league. It's going to be Wimbledon away on Saturday, the 16th of January. Look, I've enjoyed being back. It was all right. We've had a bit of a laugh. Sean got a little bit angry. I thought he was going to get more angry than that, but we'll try harder next time.
I can't believe you said it was better without Michael.
Oh,
I thought it was just out of order. Out of order, Philly.
Right, we'll be back on, when are we back, lads? Thursday. Thursday. And is it 7 o'clock on a Thursday? Is that what we do?
Yeah, I can't play football anymore in Tier 4.
Tier 4.
7 o'clock.
I dispute whether you could play football regardless of what tier we were
That's
in.
Sean and Michael.
All right. Right, so we're back again on Thursday for the Thursday Night Live. That's at 7 o'clock. Please join us for that. If we can get some more content on the channel this week, we will. Thank you to you lot for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. We are trying to get to 5,000 before Easter. It doesn't cost a penny. It's absolutely free. So from myself, wee Philly, from Sean Middleton, from Dino, from The Mad Mistake, from Jacob Ewick, from Jacob, and from CONRAD Lee. That's it for another Sunday Bunch, and we will see you all on Thursday. See you then. Bye-bye. Whoa!